Hello, everyone. This is Deacon Joe again, and I wanted to say a few words about the feast day today. Today we celebrate the Solemnity of St. Joseph, the universal patron of the church. And I think he's a very helpful guide for us today in our current situation. First off, I think Joseph is a good example of how God always provides the grace that we need. Joseph is called to a pretty lofty vocation, being the foster father of God incarnate. That's a pretty big deal. And I'm sure he was feeling like as if he was inadequate. But the angel of the Lord comes to him and assures him that he can trust the Lord. And then he does it without asking any questions. His total trust and faith in the Lord shows us that even though he knows that he is likely doesn't have the skills or what he needs right now to fulfill the vocation that God's calling him to, but he has total trust that even though he doesn't totally understand, God will provide throughout the fulfillment of his vocation. And second off, like I said earlier, Joseph, he has no words recorded in Scripture. God calls him, he tells him what to do, and he does it. And that's a good example to us because sometimes for me, when I'm asked to do something very difficult or that takes a long time or something that I really don't want to do, I complain. Words are the first thing that comes out of is the first action that I do, is complaining. But Joseph does not complain at all. He just gets to work and obeys the Lord's will because he has total trust in the Lord, and he knows that whatever plan the Lord has, that is what is best. And so we learn a great lesson from St. Joseph today about humble obedience of God's will and humble trust in God's will, because God's will is how we will be fulfilled, is how we will be happy. And I think that's a good lesson for us today because I know that there's a lot of things going on in the world that I don't have control over and I'm not necessarily a huge fan of. But I'm just called to do what I can and keep coming to prayer every day and keep that relationship with the Lord up. But I'm not in control. And I feel I'm invited today on the Feast of St. Joseph to ask God for the grace to imitate his humble obedience so that I can serve him with humble obedience.